Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I had a comment. Someone was mentioning that maybe our elected President Trump might be, maybe overconfident, just thinking stupid or something like that, because he will make claims. He's going to do this, he's going to do that, and some of this stuff is going to be not his choice. It's going to be something that's going to have to be voted on. So how could he say something so silly as he can do this stuff where he just can't just say it and it happens. And so this is what I want to kind of talk about. I've got this thing. Now, see, the whole running the whole United States is just a little bit above my head, but I do know how I could handle my county, and that would be if your county was infested with a bunch of drug dealers, gang members, and killers, and meth heads, and whatever all these kind of crazy stuff is, you would want a sheriff that would be less agreeable, I would say. In other words, what's going on now? You notice what we've been doing. Everybody keeps talking about, well, we need to get along. Try to get along. In personal life, on your life and my life, we are told to avoid problems. Just kind of, something going on in front of you, walk across the street and go along like that. See, we don't want trouble, so. And that stupid mentality has gone on in politics. And so what they do is, Democrats and Republicans, they got to get along, if they're going to get anything done. Yeah, and you've noticed everything that the government does is screw up. So I would rather they didn't get a damn thing done. But everything they get done, we, the American people, get hurt. So, getting along isn't the thing. And that's what they've been doing. They party together. They drink together. They dine together. They go out and get the sweet things together. I don't. Who knows what all they do together? Because they're trying to get along now. See, so, but if it's in your county, you would want a sheriff that's not looking to get along with the criminal elements. You don't want somebody that's going to get along with the immoral crazies that are running around in your county. You want a sheriff that's going to convince these people to settle down or get the hell out. And there's that same approach will work on the federal level. There was a time that I was going to run for president. And I talked a little bit about it. When I talk face to face to people, I tell them what I would do, and it would work. But the same thing like this sheriff, you don't want to know what the sheriff is doing all the time. Now, once your county is settled down, you got all the riffraff out and things have calmed down, you don't need that kind of sheriff anymore. You need the kind of sheriff that gets along. He's more political. He says the right words and stuff like that once everything is good. But when it's not, you want a sheriff that doesn't mind getting his hands a little dirty. And so the thing is, and it's kind of like making hot dogs. You enjoy the hot dogs, but I guarantee you don't want to see how they make them. So, and that's the same thing. We are to the point where, well, that's why when he says that, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, he can't do this stuff. But what he's doing is sharing his mindset with you. An example, for me, one of the things I was big on, if I'm going to be president, is I want to get rid of the education department. Federal education department. What's the government doing in education? There's nothing in the Constitution that says about education. I wouldn't, give federal money for education. No, that's the state's problem. Let them worry about it. See, so, and you're right. Well, I can't just go in there and dictate this to people. No, you're absolutely right. What I'm going to have to do is make connections. I need to find out who I can work with and find out who I can't work with. And the people I can't work with, I've got to help them understand that they have to work with me one way or the other. And I'm not talking about like the Clintons do. I mean, kill off people and this type of stuff. And a good businessman knows how to do that stuff, and that's what I'm talking about. And if any of y'all know me personally, hey, I'm a nice guy around. I do my killing with kindness. I kill people with kindness, and then, like I say, if I see them in the dark alley, well, that's a little bit different. But like I say, there's ways to get things done. And it's not like he is going to do all this stuff. If he's smart, and I think he is, I'm hoping he is, he will find the people that will get this stuff done. And I'll tell you, if you've ever been around really good, strong individuals, and you will see it's easy to help them. It's natural for good people anyway to want to help others. And when you find somebody in a position of authority, and he's a good person and they need help, more than likely you will do what you can to help them. And depending on your skill levels, that's what I'm talking about. He will appoint someone with good skill levels on getting things done. And I'm not talking about getting people breaking, knees and stuff like that. Man, there's so many ways to get people to do things. And in my world, it's all making people do the morally correct thing. And doing the morally correct thing for the inexperienced is a little more difficult than someone that's used to doing the morally correct thing. But if you can explain it correctly, if you can give them the right help, the right little nudge here and there, and the motivation stuff, you can get people that you would think would have no morals to do the morally correct thing. I mentioned when I'm running around down in Mexico, Central America, and all this stuff, man, I know some nasty people. And now the thing is, because I do the Hoi Chi, I can take away pain. Some of these nasty people, they got pain. Some of them have family members with pain. And when I can help them, and they are grateful, a lot of times they are so grateful that they will do the morally correct thing. when I'm there. Now, when I'm not there, hey, who knows what they're doing. But like I say, as long as you're around me, I kind of expect people to do the morally right thing. And if they choose not to, I will try to get away from them. And President Trump will be able to convince people to do not only the morally correct thing, the constitutionally correct thing. And I'm expecting him to be. If he doesn't know this stuff, he will know the people that already know this stuff. Because it's like, I don't know a lot of stuff. And anytime I don't know it, I look for someone that does know it. And then I squeeze it out of them, what it is that I need to know. And if it's more than I'm capable of doing, then I get them in a morally position where they will help me do the morally correct thing. And so, how's he going to get things done? Some of it will be public. Some of it will be behind closed doors. I really don't like closed door stuff. I really don't. But sometimes you need to do that. That's why I don't like the police. They have to go by these rules. And you start putting cameras on them and all this kind of stuff. It's not a good thing. I mean, like I say, I was running around with the cops. There was times we'd take somebody out around the side of the building and explain to them not to do this stuff. And like I say, I've had bad kids that I've had to deal with. And it's the same thing. I don't want a record, especially a video record of what I did. But like I say, these kids have turned out good. So there's ways of getting things done. And some of it isn't our business. But if you've got the person in there that's going to do the right thing, let them do the right thing. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as you keep doing the right thing, then we can make things work. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.